Boss Talks.
Alright guys, so before we get into the video, go hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so that you get notifications for upcoming videos. And today we are going to get into how you select the perfect softball bat for you. Okay guys, so you might have heard so many terms thrown out there: swing weighting, end loads. Everything that you need to know will be in this video when you go to select the perfect bat for you. Okay, so today we're going to get into all of those terms. We're going to get into what bat actually is perfect for you. So there's so many bats out there on the market. It can be such a tricky thing to pick out which bat is really right for you, depending on your skill level and depending on what type of softball you actually play. So there's some answers that you are going to have to answer yourself to figure out what's right for you. But today I will explain what exactly goes into picking the perfect bat for you. All right, so when we're talking about men's slow pitch softball, there are basically two associations that rule the bat market, and that is USSSA and USA Softball, otherwise known as ASA. Okay, so ASA, you will find the USA stamp on the bat right here. This is your association. So know which association are legal for your league, for whatever tournament you're doing. Find that out first. Know what you're going to be playing. And if you're going to be playing both, there's also an option for that. So the other option, obviously, is a USSSA. So with USSSA, you will find you either will be able to swing a 220 or a 240. Now, most leagues and most tournaments, you will have to swing 240. 220 is no longer allowed in a lot of places. So this here is an Easton 240, says it right on it. The 240 is just what the compression should be getting down to on the bat. So the bats were getting a little too hot with the 220s. They were failing really early, and it makes it dangerous for everybody out there playing in the infield, so they had to change it to 240. So make sure if you can swing a 220, those are a cheaper option. Make sure you're not buying a 220 if you're in a 240 league. So that's one thing you want to look for first. Now in USA ASA, they do have a list of banned bats. So go check out what bats are banned. Make sure you're not swinging any banned bats. And you never know what might happen. They might rule a bat that you bought to be banned. And most companies, they'll refund your money if that happens. But make sure you're not buying a banned bat. Make sure you buy one that is legal for USA or USSSA that you're playing in. So once you've figured that out, okay, we're getting into what bat is actually good for you. Okay, everybody has a different opinion on what bat is the best and what this is better because of this and that's better because you don't have to get into any of that. All right, the first thing you're going to have to look for is the weighting. All right, so on the end there's going to be a weighting sticker. So bigger guys and guys that have been playing a long time, you might see them swinging heavier bats, 27s, 28s, because they need that extra weight to help them get even more power through the zone. And they're looking for a really end-loaded bat because they can create a ton of whip. If you're not that guy that is, big enough and it feels comfortable and like you're not having to really struggle to force that bat through the zone, then you want to go with something a little lighter. The typical weighting for most bats nowadays is a 26 ounce or a 25 ounce. So here I have a 25 ounce. It is mid-loaded. Okay, so we're going to get into the loadings, but 25 ounce is what I typically swing. I don't swing very hard. I mean, I am a bigger guy, so I am an exception to the rule. I'm a bigger guy, but I need that lighter bat to help me generate enough whip through the zone. So when I pick up a heavier bat, there might be times I hit the ball a little bit harder because I timed it just right. Timing is very important, but to get your timing right, you got to have the right weighting for the bat. So swing a couple different weights. You never know. You might be able to swing a 27 really comfortably, or even if you can find a 28 and the 28 feels comfortable, okay, if it doesn't have a really excessive end loading. But definitely look for the weighting first. Swing weighting is so important. So the next thing that we're going to get into is the load on the bat, okay? So the load on the bat is going to be very important, all right? This determines how much whip you're going to generate really through the zone. And a lot of power hitters, they go with an end load. So if you consider yourself a power hitter and you typically just go for the long ball, you're going to want that end loading to be pretty significant. All right, so a 1 ounce end load is usually like a max load or a super max. You'll find that with Mikan, they call it a super max. And, you know, there's all different names, but figure out if it's a 1 ounce end load, if it's a ½ ounce end load. If you're getting a little wild and crazy like Evil Sports likes to do, all right, he's got a 0.6 end load. He's found that is, you know, just the perfect end load. So he goes with a 0.6. There's 1/4 ounce end loads on some bats. So just be aware of what the end load is. Find the one that is comfortable for your swing is the most important thing, all right? So after you've figured out, you know, what end loading, what weight is right for your swing, now you found just about the right bat for you. But there's a couple different things, you know, you want to consider before you go and buy a bat. You got to know what type of balls they are using in your league or tournament. Okay, so typically most bats now are low compression, which means they hit a 52-300 ball. All right, so these bats are designed to only hit a 52-300 USA softball. All right, so there are 44 core balls that might say ASA or USA on them, but you cannot use those with these low compression bats. Anarchy also makes a low compression bat. All right, so be aware their ACX 360 is low compression balls only. So you might break your bat if you hit 44 core balls with it. But there are some brands that do offer the ability to hit 44 core ball. Okay, so what is a 44 core ball? All right, so this here, all right, is a 44 core USSSA ball, and they are meant to be hit with a U-trip bat or a bat that can withstand a 44 core ball. All right, so a couple different options that I have found that you can hit a 44 core ball with relatively no problem. Proton has their Smith, all right. This one here, you can hit 44 and you can hit the 52-300s. All right, it does pretty well with both. If it's extremely hot out, these bats, they're not as good. The ball will just not come off of them great, I've found. You know, what actually helps you with, say, a Monster or a Pure bat, all right? So Pure, another company you might be looking into. Great bats. They have a pad technology, and Monster has a fib technology, which helps the ball trampoline, and it has an extra added element inside the barrel that helps that trampoline effect, which the Proton Smith does not have. It has more of like a restrictor type, just like Anarchy X-Core. So Anarchy X-Core has a restrictor inside instead of a floating inner barrel or a pad system like the Pure. So that makes these able to hit a 44 core or a 52. So you're in a league and they say we have 44 core balls, and you don't want to break your bat. You've got to go find a bat like an X-Core, like a Proton Smith, or a Suncoast 5244. It says it right on the bat. Suncoast has a great bat, the Suncoast 2 or the Suncoast 1, and those you can find them for USA softball. You can hit a 44 or 52. All right, so now that we've figured all of that out, I've laid out exactly what you want to look for when you're looking for a great bat. There are a couple different places that I like to go to find my bats, so I'm going to give some shout outs here. SmashItSports.com has a great selection of a lot of different softball gear. They're a great place to go to find a bat, a glove, a bat, anything you might need. Great place for that. Now there's also another site called Headbanger Sports, but they also have reps. So if you're on Facebook, you can go and search out softball pages, ask the admin if they are a rep for a bat company, and they might be able to get you a better deal than you're getting online at that site. So always look for a better deal. And if you are in the market, for a used bat, because the price range on these new bats can get a little crazy, especially if they're on the resale. So like a lot of guys resell brand new Monsters and they mark up the price. If you don't want to overpay, there are tons of sites on Facebook, groups that you can join, and you will be able to find a nice used bat that will work for your swing. Use all the things that I just told you before to pick out that bat, and you're definitely going to be able to find something for a little bit cheaper if you go through one of these groups. I have a group myself that I have a giveaway going on right now. So if you go over to the Bat Boss group, you'll be able to maybe win a bat that is perfect for your swing. So I'll put that down below so that you guys can head over there and you can figure out exactly, what you're looking for a bat. You can ask me questions from there. You can also, message me at any time with any questions. But as always, guys, go out there, find the right bat for you, and swing it like a boss.